Good evening, everybody. Straight from the Drom stage in the East Village. This is Mehmet alongside Sardar.
Hello.
Thanks so much for joining us for another night of trivia. Tonight, we are going to go to Latin America and have a guest celebrity performer join us so we can delve into Southern American music, we can delve into Colombian music, and lots of fun anecdotes about his travels and his life having lived in the US in Boston and New York. Today, we're going to host a band leader, a composer, a fantastic entertainer, and a very dear friend of Drom. He's performed on this stage many, many times. Please welcome Mr. Gregorio Uribe from Colombia.
Hey, Gregorio, how are you?
Good. Thank you for having me. I'm getting nostalgic of seeing Drom behind it. I want to be on stage.
You see?
This is our stage.
I'm on the stage now. It's my turn.
I know. This looks so boring. This background looks so boring next to that. But it's good. It's good even to connect, if not at least virtually. Thank you for having me. I get very emotional of the good times that we've had at Drom.
Yes,
it's good to see you. How they handle COVID problems there? Everything's.
I think I am not the most informed, but okay. I do feel that that it's. I think that in Colombia they've been really good. Like from the early on, they've been very strict. We're in quarantine. In Bogota, for example, something very particular in the city is that they've installed something where it's like. Women can go out to, like, if you need to go shopping or whatever, on odd days, and men.
Oh, they did it. Okay, yeah. They were talking about it here too. Yeah, it's fine.
So they were like doing stuff like that, and obviously I know it's uncomfortable for everyone. Everyone wants to go out, but I think that considering the circumstances, they've been doing a good job, and for the most part, people have been okay. Now you're starting to feel that everyone is relaxing. But at least I think it's been better than what it looks like in the US from far away.
Right. Yeah, here is terrible. Yeah, we have almost over 90,000.
That's where is that's over 90,000? Where?
People, yeah, in US.
Yeah,
that's huge.
Yeah, but even New York City itself is like similar, like
about
France or Spain or Italy, same amount of it.
Wow.
Yeah. It's the center of pandemic, basically.
That's amazing. It's been very surprising that for example, countries like Latin America, or usually are like, I don't know, our politics and are not seem a little less organized usually, but in this case, it seems like it's been actually better.
Yeah, the American system is failed this time in the health system.
In part, this is why we're doing this, because we can't have you on stage. So we wanted to bring into Drom, literally, so we can actually chat with you, recall back some of the performances you've had at Drom, but then also listen to new music. I know you have a new album coming out very soon. Also listen from you stories of your travels. You have traveled all around the world. And then also test the participants' knowledge about music from South America, which you are an expert of. So I would like to invite a close friend of ours, Ahmet from Poltio, who is working with us on providing this technology to do this quiz. And without further ado, welcome, Ahmet.
Hello, everyone. It's great to have Gregorio with us, and I'm looking forward to tonight's trivia as well. I learned a few things myself going through the questions, so I'm curious to see your reactions. So let me pull up our leaderboard. I see I posted the link to the board in chat as well. I see already somebody signed up. Danny seems to be up. So if you can go to trivia.poltio.com from your mobile phone or any other device that you have with active internet connection, it's going to ask you to insert a code. Our code for today is 2121. And then if you just add your name there, you are gonna pop up on our leaderboard. So the link is trivia.poltio.com and the code is 2121. So let's give people a few minutes to sign up. You can feel free to use our chat as well to ask questions and post comments. As we do, we have a little clip that we wanna play for you, and then we'll get back to our trivia shortly. So our code is trivia.poltio.com, and tonight's code is 2121. And here comes our clip.
Se siente un viento de cambio, se reinventa la poesía. Julieta hace un doctorado, Romeo no se suicida y el príncipe y la princesa se la pasan de pelea. Y aquel amante chipriota lo traicionó Galatea. Eva ya no utiliza su apellido de casada. Adán plancha sus camisas, pero aún brillan sus miradas mientras se burlan los orillas de las falsas monogamias. Dicen que Bacho y Bochica se la pasan en terapia. ¡Ja! Yo quiero que tú acompañes mi preciada soledad. Yo quiero que tú acompañes mi preciada soledad. Prometo cuidar la tuya y ofrecerte mi verdad. Prometo cuidar la tuya y ofrecerte mi verdad. Cuéntanos, Gregorio. Dulcinea tiene un novio que conoció en internet. Hoy viven en concubinato, igual que María y José. Tristan ya salió del closet y vive en Miami Beach. Orfeo volvió a casarse, esta vez por lo civil. Se escasean las mitades, se ahoga la hipocresía. Quedan dos cuerpos enteros, queda tu risa y la mía. Y no soy tu media naranja, tú no eres mi solución. No quiero tu dependencia, pero me encanta tu olor.
Should we get started with the trivia, Ahmet, or do we need another few minutes?
Whenever you guys are ready, we can start with the first question. I don't know who is reading the first.
Do you want to make the honors and start? Drum roll, exactly. Maybe read the first question, Gregorio.
Sure thing.
Okay, so now we are going to send a small countdown to the phones, and here comes the first question.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, what country is the rhythm samba associated with? Paraguay, Argentina, Brazil. Argentina, Brazil.
There is the TikTok clock.
I'm very curious to see you guys get this right.
Let's see how many people got this right. Wow, that's pretty low, 16%. Only one person, in fact.
Well, I gotta say that was a tricky one. I kind of started difficult. It was a little tricky. If I want to explain, because it's obviously most people associate the word samba with Brazil. That makes perfect sense. So everybody that gets samba and was Brazil, it made sense that you would answer that. The thing is that there's a difference between samba with an S, which is the famous carnival rhythm from Brazil, and samba with a Z, which is an Argentinian rhythm.
Okay.
Sometimes they mess with the soccer, both sides.
The idea, exactly.
they have a wrong decision.
Exactly.
Well, speaking of Brazil, maybe it will come easier for the next question because it's about Brazil. Exactly. Which of the following music genre does not originate from Brazil? Brazil has so many fantastic genres of music, but one of them is not from Brazil. Which one is it? Maracatu, conga, forró, or bossa nova?
I hope you guys didn't answer bossa nova.
One person did, but mostly conga, which is the right answer. So that's not too bad.
That's not too bad, yeah. That's good, that's good.
Sardar, would you like to read the next question? Yeah.
Okay, let's bring up our...
All right. The jarana instrument is used in which Mexican music genre? Did I pronounce right?
Jarana.
Jarana, right?
Yeah. Jarana, yeah. Right.
Yeah,
actually,
jarana,
the picture behind the picture looks like a jarana.
Jarana, yeah.
It's like behind me.
Quarter.
I thought, charanga. I thought it was
Mariachi,
charanga.
norteña, jaranga, banda.
See, Oh, wow, that's fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Almost
good
everybody got that
job.
correct.
Yeah.
Good job, everybody.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
there's some
That's
really
cool.
fun. They do in Jarocho music some fandangos, and even in New York, every now and then you hear these fandangos where everybody gets around. They bring all the jaranas. You can hear like 10 jaranas playing at the same time.
I mean, Gregorio, your music incorporates a lot of different rhythms and instruments from, different styles. But, what percentage is Colombian? What percentage is really more South American? Could you just like talk about your music?
Of course, I would say it kind of depends on my albums. My first album, which was called Pluma y Vino, it's more of a, let's call it singer-songwriter album, more based on the guitar, more romantic, a little more mellow. And in that, I feel that there's different rhythms, like there's like a bolero, which is, romantic style that is, I love bolero because it's really found everywhere in Latin America. So, I mean, maybe some people would say it's originated from Cuba, but it really is found all around. There is some son, like Cuban son. There's like a cumbia from Colombia. There's a rumba from Spain, sort of like a Gypsy King style rumba, and stuff like that. And then later with my second album, which is, it's a mixture of big band music, and that is pretty much 99% Colombian in terms of the rhythms, especially from the Caribbean coast. Cumbia, porro, even a cover that we do of the Beatles there, that's called of Come Together. We kind of do it in a cumbia-esque and porro style. And on this album, on the album that I'll be releasing now, also very much based in Colombia, but now it's more based on accordion music from Colombia.
Fantastic. Maybe the next question actually really fits into that, because there are a lot of different styles of drums. If you want to read the next question.
Absolutely. Let's see. All right. So the piano, chico, and repique drums are associated with which music genre? Cumbia, huayno, candombe, or currulao? It's interesting that a drum is called piano in this case. It's like a confusing thing, but it's...
Wow, fantastic. Half of the participants guessed that right.
Candombe from Uruguay. That's where candombe is from.
Candombe from Uruguay. Fantastic. Okay, I have a question.
Who's leading right now? Stefan again?
Stefan is here. He's among us.
Let's check our...
When you call Latin music, yeah, of course, Stefan.
Oh,
I think I'll take him out of contest,
Stefan and Dan seem to be leading
right now. All right, let's see if he will guess this next one right. Legendary ranchera singer Chavela Vargas was born in which country?
Costa Rica.
All right. Well, as you can tell by now, I like tricky questions. So I guess I wanted to make this question because there's a really cool anecdote. So Chavela Vargas, she's always been known for singing beautiful rancheras, and we associate rancheras with Mexico. So if you guess Mexico, that makes perfect sense. However, there's an interview where somebody says, but why do you say Chavela? Why do you say that you're Mexican when you were born in Costa Rica? She says, because Mexicans were born wherever the hell we want.
That's a good answer.
That's a really good answer. So, she considered herself Mexican, but she was born in Costa Rica.
Fantastic. Sardar.
All right, there is one song right now we're going to listen, and we'll guess what song is it.
Opa! Be careful.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't give it away.
Let's see who's gonna...
For me, the Wepa gave it away. I have to tell you. Personally speaking, whenever he said Wepa, there you go. 1/3 knew it.
Wow, not bad. What is it? Is it also tricky that second song is 66%?
That song, Sopa de Caracol, that was a big hit in the 90s for everybody. Well, I think, big tropical song.
Actually, speaking of songs of that kind, I always realized that I always remember actually your songs, your performances to be so moving, but also so much fun. Like, you know, I can't remember any person that sits still during your performances. Is it part of your character to actually compose and perform songs that are more fun? Is it in your culture? Because there's some beautiful sad songs, but, you know, specifically your performances always reminds me of fun, good vibes.
There's always party.
You know,
People
always
start
let's party.
dancing.
Exactly,
Nobody
exactly.
sits, everybody dance.
Well, I kind
So
of
beautiful.
have I have a little bit of a dichotomy within myself, like, and it's on the one side there's the side that I love, you know, the dancing, the party, the especially with accordion music, and that is definitely part of the culture where I come. I feel that in Colombia and many places in Latin America, especially in around the Caribbean, it's like there's no separation between music and dancing, right? It's like when you're a kid, even you learn, like learning to dance is like a survivor skill, right?
Yeah.
But I do also have this other side that is more, again, more intimate, more melancholic of the song, and sometimes I kind of have like a tension of trying to mix them or adding one or the other. So I like both sides, but I think once I'm on stage and there's like the adrenaline kicks in, there's something that you just kind of, there's like one of the best things that you can see is having people dance to your music. That's one of the best feelings ever. So I guess I really get excited about the feeling. So I want to dance to the music. So I want to get everybody dancing to the music, and I can't run away from it.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Latin music is like more always like dancing is very important part of the music. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Actually, a lot of the Colombian bands that we have had at Drom over the years, all of them bring really the party. And I always seem to remember that those are the, you know, that and Venezuela, I have to say, those two countries. I mean, there are so many other parties that we do as well, but those seem to be always on the sort of like, you know, party, let's dance, let's enjoy.
I also think that, you know, obviously, you know, to our performance, we have not just folks from Colombia or from Latin America. We love the fact that we have, you know, people that come from different parts of the world, or just from the US, or just regular New Yorkers, if you want to call it. But there's also something that people, when they come and they're hearing the music from where they are from, they get like twice as excited, right? So I think that has to do something with it. Oh, I think we're frozen a little bit to hearing some music. Oh, we're back.
Yes, we are here. We are here.
I told some really bad jokes.
You took care of
We're
the
back.
program while we were away.
We're back.
Fantastic. Okay, sorry
I was about to start the party.
And meanwhile, your chats are coming in. Gregorio, I don't know if you're monitoring the chat, but there are also some people who are saying hello to you. Okay, next question. The cajon instrument used in flamenco music is originally from which country?
I'm actually sitting on a cajon.
Oh, you're sitting on a cajon. Can you play it? Can we see what it sounds like? Oh, we don't really hear it.
Oh, you can't hear it?
No, because
I think it blocks the high sounds or something like that, right?
It might, yeah.
All right.
Anyhow,
well,
so that's
looks like.
So that's our question here. Can we see the question as well?
Yeah, 1 second. So we seem to be back.
It's going back up.
We had a small hiccup. Let's see the results. So we had 33% of the people who got that question right, and we'll have the leaderboard back with the next question.
Can I tell, just because in case people are not seeing, can I tell them the right answer?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Please.
Okay. Cool. So the right answer is Peru, everybody.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's interesting because once, if I'm not mistaken, as it goes, Paco de Lucia, the famous flamenco guitarist, went to Peru and he brought it back to Spain, and it became huge among flamenco music. And so it's easy to identify it with it being a Spanish instrument, but it's originally from Afro-Peruvian music.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So that one, another tricky question from you, Gregorio.
Don't hate me, everybody.
I'm just kidding. Okay, Sardar, would you like to read the next question?
Sure. The song Frio Frio by Dominican Juan Luis Guerra is inspired by which celebrated author's poem?
Okay, so whose poem is this?
Which one is it?
Frío, frío, como el agua del río.
That's the song?
O caliente,
Oh.
como el agua de la
Lorca.
fuente.
Lorca, Garcia
Oh,
Lorca.
let's hear a little bit more, no?
Yeah, well, I'll
was
tell you,
fantastic.
it was interesting. Once, you know, I grew up listening to the music of Juan Luis. It's a beautiful, not only music, but his lyrics are gorgeous. And one day I was at a friend's house. He had a small poetry book of Garcia Lorca, the famous Spanish poet. I went by and there was a poem called Frío Frío with the exact lyrics of like the chorus of the song. So it wasn't, I knew it wasn't a coincidence. And when I got to meet Juan Luis, he confirmed that it was definitely inspired on that poem.
The answer is, of course, the merengue.
Oh, 100%. Woo.
Good job, guys.
Awesome.
Cool.
If I'm not mistaken, I would think maybe it's the only odd metric rhythm in Latin America. Maybe. At least the only one.
Can you count? Gregorio, can you count 5, 8?
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, unless in other parts, I guess in the Balkans, in Turkey, I would assume that you guys are more used to those,
Yes.
no?
Yep.
Absolutely.
For me, I have to really concentrate for rhythms. Like,
The
it's unbelievable. You guys can
special
dance.
one is
You guys can do
9/8.
dancing.
It's a gypsy, but yeah, we have a lot of 5/8 too.
That's very interesting.
Actually, when you studied at Berkeley, and I'm sure you come across a lot of different students from all around the world during that time. Can you tell us about maybe, the years that you lived in Boston and then maybe afterwards New York, or we can, skip New York for another question, but certainly, how was it for you to learn all about these different rhythms and, music from all around the world? Can you talk about that a little bit?
It was great. It was intimidating, I would say. Very intimidating because you're coming, it's sort of like exciting and intimidating. I actually went there for drums. I was originally a drummer, and that's what I went to study at Boston. Yeah. So, and you would go to the drum practice rooms, and, there are like 20 little drum rooms where you could go practice, and each guy was just better than the next. And from so many different influences, like there were the guys that would come from like a church gospel background. They were just killing. And there were some jazz guys that were killing and everything. And so it was like, you kind of feel intimidated. And in a way, it would you would try also it would make you emphasize maybe, or try to find what is it that you could do that was unique. So I think that's also what made me, one of the elements that made me also that drew me again to Colombian music and try to find ways that I could bring the rhythms from my country to the drum set. That was kind of one of my first projects there. But it was very impressive. That's actually, that's where I met, for example, Engin, who, was some amazing drummer from Turkey. He's from Turkey, right?
Right.
Yeah.
He
He born in Australia, but he's Turkish.
Oh, okay.
You study with him together, same year?
Yeah. We studied together. We were both drummers.
Also Panayotis also supposed to be same year, right?
I think Panayotis was. I don't think we were at the same time. I think it was before.
Okay.
But
they were studying together.
So you can see how intimidating that was just from knowing those two guys.
Well, I mean, it's a really great place to learn music from really all around the world. And, we have so many musicians that we hosted at Drom from Berkeley and other parts of the world, really, that continue to do very creative and different styles of music from around the world. And,
actually, we were planning to start this year, around this time, actually, Berkeley alumni students shows. We were planning to do this, but
nice.
Maybe next year.
Yeah,
I don't know how long it's gonna take, but.
And one thing that was very cool, it was very helpful once I moved to New York, that a lot of, you end up meeting a lot of people in Berkeley, of course, a lot of musicians and many people move to cities like New York, Los Angeles. So it's like when you move to a city, then you already kind of have, even if it's a small network, it can really be helpful. So there were some really great friends that were already moving there to New York. And I loved already kind of having that support.
Yeah.
Great. Maybe we can continue with the next question, which is a song that pretty much everybody in the world knows this song, but the question is a little different, right, Gregorio?
Which one is it? Are we listening to it, or which one?
No, we will read it.
Okay, so it's coming up now on your screens.
Let's see. Now I'm nervous. Oh, this is one of my favorite melodies as I was a kid. So the lambada is known widely. Sorry, oh, I got two no's there. It's known widely as a Brazilian song, but the melody is actually originally from Ecuador, Bolivia, Uruguay, or Belize.
Wow, 50%
Bolivians.
new. Wow,
Cool.
I have to say
Very
that I
good.
did
Well,
not know. I thought it was Brazilian.
Yeah, well, it's. I think something that
Bolivians.
can be interesting is that once you hear it, and actually, I doing the research for some of the questions, you can actually find the original song, which is a Bolivian song, and it's like, well, it makes sense because the melody has a very sort of Andean pentatonic type of color and harmonies, so it kind of makes sense.
Wonderful. And I see that we have a new leader. Masumune is leading right now.
Congratulations.
Yes. If anybody would like to join us for a few minutes and say hello to Gregorio and us, please raise your hand through the button at the bottom of your at the bottom of your page, and we will call you in. Maybe I'll read the next song in the meantime. What album is the best-selling album in the history of salsa music?
Oh, let's see.
Fania All-Stars, Willie Colon, and Ruben Blades, Gran Combo de Puerto Rico, or Mark Anthony?
I actually have the vinyl right on my wall of this album.
Oh, you do? Okay.
It was a great gift from a friend.
Let's see. It's, Ruben Blades and Willie
Willie
Colon.
Colon.
Yeah, that's the album that has Pedro Navajas, which is one of the biggest, main salsa songs, and also Plástico.
Is this also Fania Records?
I'm not sure. I think it's post. I don't know. But what's interesting is, again, like a hit song like Pedro Navajas is like a 12-minute song. So that's impressive that he was able to do that.
Mm-hmm. Because, maybe some people may or may not know this, but salsa has a really deep history in New York, right?
Absolutely.
I mean,
yeah. You could, most people, you just argue that it's actually born in New York.
Born in New York, exactly.
So,
of course, born in New York with people from Central and South America, obviously.
Exactly. Yeah. From mixture,
Puerto Rico.
Cuban rhythms, Puerto Rican immigrants, and other
Dominican.
influences.
Yeah.
So yeah, big deal.
Great. I think we're on to the 12th question. Sada, do you want to do this one?
Sure.
So let's have the boards to give people a second to catch up.
In traditional cumbia, what's the name of the drum that plays a constant upbeat rhythm through the song? Alegra, tambura, maraca, lamador.
Cumbia.
It's a drum that's playing that all the time.
Wow, nobody guessed that one right.
All right. Well, no worries. The word.
Do you have the drum? Do you have the drum with you? That
I have a similar one. Let me show you.
Yeah, please. That would be interesting.
Oh,
that's the one.
Okay,
all right, cool.
This is not exactly the llamador, but it's almost the same. It's just the llamador is more rustic. It actually uses actual skin, but you put on the side and it sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So it's just keeping that beat. It's really the heartbeat of the music. And the reason why it's called llamador, which is the word like the calling drum, is because very often it starts the song or it brings the drums in. It does like a, and everybody comes in.
Fantastic. We're learning so much about rhythms and percussion instruments here.
Is that fantastic. Gregorio, is that right? The Colombian music comes from the Colombian, history is like native Colombian woman and the Afro-Colombian men dancing together. It's a cumbia started. Is it?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, yes. It is native to Colombia. It started in the Caribbean coast of Colombia. There are different hypotheses of exactly how or where and what town. It's not all exact, but it's definitely from of Colombia, and it definitely has the influences of, as you were mentioning, Afro-Colombian influences, indigenous influence, and I guess if you count that is also, and part of the dress is actually of the dress that traditionally the women wear also has a very big Spanish influence. So it's kind of like the tricultural, one of the tricultural.
Yeah, the European influence comes from Spain, as like
Exactly.
and dancing and the costume. Okay, interesting. I always wonder when I saw you on the stage, you playing two accordions.
Accordions.
Yeah, one of them maybe not accordion, maybe.
That's a good question. Actually, they are pretty much the same.
Same.
Because what different?
Because
colors,
we have similar things with the clarinet in gypsy music in Turkey or
like
Greece.
different
The different keys clarinets they use.
That's exactly what it is.
Is this similar things in the?
Yeah, that's exactly
okay.
That's exactly what it is. So
that's
because these are the accordion that's used in Colombian music is a diatonic instrument. And if for those of you who don't know what that means that you can only play a certain keys, right? You can't play like the piano where it has all the notes. So if you want to play a song in G, you use one accordion, but if you want to play a song in A flat, you use the other accordion. So actually, exactly. I only carry two around, but if the big stars, they carry like 10 with them if they have enough roadies to carry for them.
Oh, beautiful. We're on to question number 13.
Let's review our leaderboard and give people a few seconds to turn back their devices. So Masumane seems to be leading, but it's a very close tie between Judy, Jen, and Love and Masumane, followed by Denny. And we are 12 questions in. We have 8 more questions to go.
Okay. And once more, if you would like to join us.
Anybody wants to come on the screen to talk?
Let us know.
Okay, great.
So next question coming up.
Do you want to read it, Gregorio?
Sure thing. All right. Lunfardo is a dialect associated with which music scene? New York salsa, tango, Peruvian chicha music, or A and B? Here's a hint.
Oh, okay. There's a hint. Let's see if... Yes.
Tango.
Right. So
what are you drinking?
So I'm actually drinking some mate, which
mate.
is drank in Argentina. Well, my girlfriend's from Argentina, so we drink a lot of mate at home. And it's also drank in Paraguay, Uruguay, and Brazil. But this was my clue to say Argentina tango. What
is Lunfardo actually? It's a local language?
It's more of a dialect, and some of the myth of what I've heard is that, for example, sometimes they turn the words around. Let's say, I mean, this is instead of saying café, which is coffee, you say feca. So you turn the syllables around. And from what actually my girlfriend told me, or maybe I looked it up, it's that they used to use this dialect in jail, actually, so that the guards couldn't understand. So it kind of turned the words around and mix them up. And I think there's a lot of because there's a lot of Italian influence in Argentina. There's also some Italian-ish or esque words in there. So it's kind of like a way we know the code and other people can understand, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And it's really cool, and it's normal. I have so many friends from Argentina, including in my band, and they were just normal expressions that they would come up like that. You're like, what? They're like, oh, it's this. I'm like, oh, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And one participant is adding that they also do that in France as well.
Oh, really?
Backward words, yes, apparently.
Oh, nice.
Interesting.
Actually, also, Stefan, I know this is from a question a little further back, but Stefan did clear that Siembra, the album that's been the best-selling salsa album, was in fact part of Fania.
Okay, yeah. I mean, Fania's catalog is so deep; it's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, next question: which of the following does not fall under Cuban rumba?
Guaguancó, Colombia, San Juanito, Jambu.
Answer is San Juanito. Nobody guessed that.
Nobody
right.
knows. Everybody thinks it's Colombia.
Colombia,
yeah.
You have tough questions.
Yeah, tough questions. I'm sorry. You know what? I think there were a few problems. Either I was bragging that I knew a lot, or maybe I was just excited about this sort of interesting little stories about music, and I wanted people to learn, even if they didn't get it right. So for next time, I'll have to do it easier.
I think we are learning a lot. I mean, truthfully speaking, I never knew a lot of these rhythms, so I'm going to look them up later as well.
Yeah, well, I'm no expert in Cuban music, but Jambu, Colombia, and Guaguancó seem to be a part of that. San Juanito, I also thought that, because it sounds very different, maybe people would guess it through that. San Juanito is actually more of a rhythm from Ecuador.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. And the participants are also saying that the stories behind the music are great. So, we're all learning here, right? We're learning, we're having fun. I'm enjoying myself.
Exactly.
All right, we are up to question number 15, so we are nearing the end. Who wants to read this next one?
All right.
Up.
Okay.
What instrument is common to Brazilian forró, Colombian vallenato, and Argentinian chamame or chamame?
Chamame.
Chamame. Okay.
Exactly. That's like the accent on the
triangle, Spanish guitar, cuatro, or accordion.
Wow, 83% guessed it right.
That's your instrument.
Fantastic.
Good job. Exactly. He was a big crew over here.
Here.
Exactly.
How many piece your band was, like 15, 16, the big band?
16.
Isn't it hard to keep like 16-piece big band all these years?
Yes, sir.
I always wonder,
hard. And you know what's hard? You know what's even harder? To get them on the stage at Drom.
That's very true.
I know, right?
No, it's definitely what I always called a labor of love. Like it was, you would have to.
Otherwise, it doesn't work. I know.
Yeah, because you loved it, and fortunately enough and I don't mean that only from my side as the leader, but also from the musicians. They all, I think everybody started falling in love with the project, and when you talk to the band, I think everybody loved, I think we all loved the music, but we all loved the hang, because we had so much fun also after the show.
Of course.
And you know how it is in New York. Everybody, musicians, they're playing with 20 bands. They have 5 gigs a night. So it's hard. It's hard. It's not, we would never like, let's just meet up everybody for coffee. No. So you would only see each other in rehearsals.
So
when we had time, it was like, okay, well, now we get to hang because, we did the job and we're here and good.
They mostly from New York, or?
I'm from New York, but obviously, New Yorkers from all over the place, from Switzerland, Mexico, Argentina, Canada, the US, Colombia.
Did you guys perform in Colombia every year, or?
No, not every year, but we came here we came to release the big band album here, and it was such a beautiful moment for me, for the band too. It was a beautiful theater. And we filled it out 2 nights, and it was for me, bringing what I had been doing outside in New York to family and friends and everybody. So I feel like, I want to finally show you what I've been working on.
Yes.
And everybody.
I remember that first time when you brought your big band. You were so crowded, we had to put you on the floor. Some people were actually performing on the floor as well as the stage.
It was APEP, I believe, the first time.
Yeah, it was
like a 20-piece.
It was crazy. I don't know what I was thinking.
Well, the next song, Gregorio will actually be playing a song for you. And you will guess the song. I don't know how long you're playing. So before sending the question, because it's only 15 seconds, as you know, I wanted to give you sort of like a head start.
Maybe I'll play it now a little bit before you.
Exactly.
Let's we'll have you play, and then we'll send the question. No rush.
Okay. So the idea here is that you guys are gonna have to guess which song is this. So what song is that?
So here's your 15 seconds.
I think you guys are gonna get this one right. I think so.
All right.
1/3, not bad.
All right.
Is this your song, or is it a famous song?
It's a very famous cumbia, La Pollera Colorada. Con la pollera colorada. Con la pollera colorada.
Beautiful.
La pollera colorada means the red skirt.
The red skirt. We're nearing the end of the contest. We have about 10 minutes or so left, and we have 4 questions left. How are we doing with the scoreboard, Mr. Ahmed?
Yeah, that's...
Who's leading? How many?
So still
Judy,
and
Jen in Love is
Masumane.
now the leader.
Yep.
Sumune, Danny,
Yeah,
Stefan.
but it's tight. But I can say, like, I think this is the 8th episode that we are doing, and this is by far the toughest set of questions, I believe. Normally, at this moment, we would have people with more than 10 questions, right? You know.
Yeah.
So today, I think we learned a lot.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. We're having a fantastic time.
I think it was
That's
great,
better.
you know?
They're learning, you know.
By the way, correct me if I'm wrong, Ahmed, but I think that this is also the first competition where we had so many leaders change. You know, usually one or two take the lead and then they run with that. But here we had at least 3 or 4 people that were leading.
Good.
So it adds variety.
Yep, definitely.
All right, next one.
Let's
Colombia
wait.
artist Joe Arroyo's signature style, Joe Son, is based on what Caribbean genre? Puerto Rican, Haitian, or Calypso?
This is so tricky. What was I doing? You know, I wouldn't get this answer. I wouldn't get this answer straight. Oh, you guys got it right. Did it?
Well,
No,
one
no.
person got it right. Sokolov.
Ah,
Sokolov got this one right. Congratulations.
All right. Congratulations. Well, here's a little anecdote about that. So Joe Arroyo, when you say his name, people don't identify him as much, but he's actually the composer and interpreter of a big salsa song. Well, many, but especially one, Rebelión. Pa para para no le pegue a la negra. So people kind of recognize that, but they don't know it's his. But anyway, he in Colombia, he had like this thing called Joy Son, and everybody grew up dancing to it, and they loved it. And once I got into a cab in New York, and the gentleman was playing some music, I'm like, oh, that's Joy. He's like, and the guy was from Haiti. He's like, no, that's compas. And that's why I realized that he had just grabbed all the compa influence from Haiti and said, oh, this is my rhythm. It's called Joy Son. We kind of took it over.
That's fantastic. So many great stories behind the songs. I mean, I love it. We're just getting comments that, you know, people love the song that you performed. They're asking you to perform it again. Maybe you can, you know, play a little longer. No, that's fantastic. It's fantastic. All right. We have 3 songs left. No, 3 questions left. But the next one is another one of those guess the song. So Ahmed will be playing the song for us.
Let's hear a little bit of the song first, and then the question will follow.
That melody is so killing.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It really is fantastic. I expect 100% correct answers, but let's see.
I think for this one, it would be great. Maybe Mehmet can kind of tell the story. There we go. Nice job.
85%.
Nice job.
Yeah. Well, this song was actually a really big hit in Europe by Algerian singer Khaled called C'est la vie. And Mark Anthony took it, and his producer probably, and they gave it a sort of like, you know, Latin feel to it. And they recorded the song and shot the song in New York. The original is actually a French production, yes, absolutely. And it's much more upbeat and more dancey. And it was a big hit in Europe for many months on the charts. And then in the US, we kind of like came across this song in a different version. I love both versions. They're fantastic. It's a fantastic
song. The video is awesome. It's so New York.
The video is great. Yeah, shot in New York, very New York style. Exactly. Yeah.
Did they use this song in any competition, soccer competition or anything?
Oh, they played it in stadiums all over the world.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you know, and you know, the theme of this, I mean, the song is, you know, C'est la vie, you know, this is life. And it's just really great to enjoy and celebrate life in this way. I mean, I really miss going outdoors. Maybe we should skip to the next question. It reminds me of the outside and dancing.
Yeah, you're right. We're all getting nostalgic.
A little bit, yeah. You're almost there.
And
all right, let's see.
Here it is.
All right. I'm curious about the answers for this. Violeta Parra, who was a very important sort of protest singer from Chile. Her song Gracias a la Vida has been covered by many artists. Which of the following artists did not cover this song?
100%.
First time.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
You thought it was tricky. Everybody got it right.
Well, you know, the only reason why I thought it was tricky, it was the Michael Bublé. Because, you know, I would never, I mean, I know the song. I know that Joan Baez had covered it. I never thought or knew. I just found out that Michael Bublé had covered it. So I would have said, oh, maybe Michael Jackson more than Michael Bublé. But I'm glad everybody got it right. At least there was finally an easy one, right?
Yes, that was actually, I think, the first one that everybody got correct.
Cool. The last
all
song
right.
and the
Last
last question.
Last question.
Yes, so we have our final question, and looks like Judy has secured her position, but
She has. Judy has one.
Should nobody
Yes,
wants
even
to
if-
come to screen and talk?
well, maybe our winner will want a video in.
Yeah,
So as we said,
Yeah,
like,
let's
please
do it.
let us know if you wanna come over.
This is a chance for you to tell me why the hell did you choose those questions? You can do that.
And we also have people requesting you to play a little bit more, so I
Yes,
asked
that
them
would
to
be fantastic.
video in and make the request in person. So let's see.
Sure thing.
Good. So next question, our final question is coming up. Then we'll have time to chat. Here we go.
Okay. Last question. Villera, Sonidera, and Amazonica are genres of what?
Which of these?
Samba, cumbia, salsa, or Latin pop?
And cumbia.
Cumbia.
Not bad.
Muy bien, everybody.
Muy bien. Judy,
Yes.
Jen, and Love, congratulations. You have won today.
Congratulations, Judy. Let's see, Judy. Come on.
Yeah, and also Poodle Cannon. Congrats.
Yeah,
Like,
Poodle
that's-
Cannon is a
that's new
DJ.
name. Yep, and Stefan as
And
well.
Stefan is number 3.
Judy and Love, come
Nice.
to the stage.
Yeah, cool. So we have a guest.
Oh, we
joining
have a
us
guest.
now.
Okay, who's coming
Yeah.
in? Let's see.
See? I
Nice
believe
illustration.
I believe we will talk to our winner.
Ah,
Yay.
congratulations.
Hey.
Judy and Jen.
Judy and Jen. Nice.
What are we
Nice job.
seeing there? What are we seeing there?
They're oxen. They're oxen. They're ox. Judy and Jen. They're ox.
Congratulations.
We love you. We love you all. We love you very much.
Thank you so much.
Does the dog get any credit for the answer?
Pretty much all of it. She's put her paw in.
Awesome. Well, congratulations.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Are you musicians by any chance?
No, we're drum lovers.
Oh,
Okay.
fantastic. I mean, you are so knowledgeable. You beat all of us. I think I knew
Yes.
2 of those questions.
Me too.
Where are you guys? You are in New York or where are
We're from New York, more or less. We are in Minnesota.
Minnesota? Okay.
Wow.
We miss New York, and we're wishing everybody love there. So we'll be back.
Oh,
All right.
yes, hopefully we'll be back. Stay
Yeah.
safe, stay strong.
You too.
We miss you.
We miss
And
you.
thanks for your support. This was fantastic.
Thank you for being
And
part.
congratulations
You had a
again. By
good
the way,
time,
Sardar,
yeah.
we should
guys
tell them
know
what day they won.
Yeah, but when you come to New York next time, we're gonna be guests in Drom for
Oh.
dinner. We're waiting.
Oh my God, thank you.
Nice.
We've been to Drum many, many, many times and miss it so much. So
All right.
Oh,
next
thank you.
time, you'll have dinner on us.
Dinner and drinks are on us.
Yes.
oh my God, now we gotta
That's
move
the
back.
that's
But you gotta
You know,
take
that-
me. That's the
that's-
condition. You gotta take me.
yes. That's the other. It's the third person. Yes.
And I eat a lot.
We'll have a grand dinner for all of you.
All right.
Fantastic. Thank you so much and congratulations again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Well, Gregorio, maybe you can play something for us. You know, there are requests
love
for you
to.
to play more. So
Let's do it. Let's do it, of course. Well, I'll give you a little bit of that sort of solo, intimate, live version of the song that you heard at the beginning in the music video. So the song, that's my latest single, and you can listen to it in any platform. And also the music video came out, which is, so the song is called Media Naranja, which means half orange. And that sounds like an odd name, but what I'm kind of making a point with the name. Media Naranja is usually what people in Latin America use as a way to say soulmate. And the song talks actually about sort of free love and kind of the opposite of soulmate, in the sense of nobody owning each other, but just kind of loving the other person as sort of as a whole being, and not necessarily needing another half, but just kind of like completing it. I don't know. Well, I'm getting a little lost in there, but the point is that you'll see videos of all folks from all walks of life, different ages, races, orientations, whatever it is, and the idea is to celebrate everybody, for them to love however they want. So this is Media Naranja, and let me play a little bit of it with a diatonic accordion.
Cool.
Se siente un viento de cambio, se reinventa la poesía. Julieta hace un doctorado, Romeo no se suicida y el príncipe y la princesa se la pasan de pelea, ya que el amante chipriota lo traicionó Galatea. Eva ya no utiliza su apellido de casada, Adán plancha sus camisas, pero brillan sus miradas mientras se burlan los orillas de las falsas monogamas. Dicen que Bacho y Bochica se la pasan en terapia. Yo quiero que tú acompañes mi preciada soledad. Yo quiero que tú acompañes mi preciada soledad. Prometo cuidar la tuya y ofrecerte mi verdad. Prometo cuidar la tuya y ofrecerte mi verdad. Dulcinea tiene un novio que conoce en internet. Hoy viven en concubinato, igual que María y José. Tristan ya salió del closet y vive en Miami Beach. Orfeo volvió a casarse, esta vez por lo civil. Se escasean las mitades, se ahoga la hipocresía. Quedan los cuerpos enteros, queda tu risa y la mía. No soy tu media naranja, tú no eres mi solución. No quiero tu dependencia, pero me encanta tu dolor. ¡Eva! Yo quiero que tú acompañes mi preciada soledad. Yo quiero que tú acompañes mi preciada soledad. Prometo cuidar la tuya y ofrecerte mi verdad. Prometo cuidar la tuya y ofrecerte mi verdad. Y ofrecerte mi verdad. Y ofrecerte mi verdad. Y ofrecerte mi verdad.
Thank you.
Oh, fantastic.
All right.
This
Thank
was
you.
great.
Oh,
Thank
by
you
the
so
way,
much,
I'm
Gregorio.
gonna-
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to ask my manager, Alexandra. Alex, if you can maybe copy the YouTube link of the video. So if anybody wants to see it later, you can put it in the chat, please. Thank you.
That'd be great. And also,
Yep.
please support Gregorio and independent music. Gregorio has a account on PayPal and Venmo if you wanted to support him during this time. You know,
Hard times, everybody.
COVID-19 has affected all of us very much. We just got 100% funded through GoFundMe last week, a campaign that we ran for about a month. So we know the community support. We know that people are very generous. Please continue supporting performers. Please continue supporting independent venues. Please support arts in general. It will really help us get through these times.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And yes, Drom has to stay alive. What an amazing place to play music, to share, the vibe. It's just is wonderful, and I can't wait to be back there and do this for real. But this was a nice way of connecting and not feeling that moment so far away from where we are.
Absolutely. And with that, I would like to say thank you again for joining us from Colombia, Gregorio. Thank you so much, Alex, for setting this up
you,
as well
Gregorio.
and helping
It was
us. We
great
look forward
talking
to
to you.
seeing you again, and stay safe.
Yep. Hopefully see you on the stage soon.
Yes, thank you, Mehmet, Serdar, Ahmed as well. Thank you for everything. This was really fun. What a great idea. So please keep being, having this creative ways of doing it, because I know everybody's doing stuff live, concerts, and that's all great, but this was really fun. For me, I actually learned a lot because I had to research some of the questions to make sure I had the right answers. And everybody, congratulations. Thanks for doing an effort. Again, if the questions were hard, they were only so that we could all get something out of this and have some stories to tell about
Exactly, yeah. That's the idea.
the amazing diversity of Latin music. So thank you so much.
Fantastic.
Thank you again.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Ciao.
And before we sign off, maybe, Sardar, we should highlight some of the trivias that are coming up. On Monday, we have a hot jazz trivia with Bria Skonberg, a fantastic trumpet player from Canada who now lives in New York. On Wednesday next week, we will welcome Ismail Lumanovsky from the New York Gypsy All-Stars for European folk music trivia. And then on Saturday next week, Igor Shorman, aka DJ Spinach, will join us for a Russian music special. And we are cooking up more for June as well. So please continue following us. Please join us. These trivias are free. Tell your friends, and hope to see you at our next one.
Yep. Follow us on dromnyc.com. Get more information.
And Sardar, we should also probably give them our new Instagram account, right?
So
the trivia.
So we are publishing, so both the Instagram and the YouTube accounts are active. So each trivia episode we are publishing on Drom's YouTube page. And also for announcements about upcoming shows, Drom's Instagram page is also actively sharing the schedule. So please follow Drom NYC at Drom at Instagram, and also Drom NYC at YouTube.
YouTube, yeah.
And our hashtag is Drom Music Trivia, right? Yes,
yep.
Drom Music Trivia. See you guys all on Monday.
Yep, see you.
Take care. Bye.
Stay safe.